This is going to be your weekly soulmate twin flame relationship reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to do something a little different this week. We're going to have a conversation between you and your person. So basically, we're going to look at what each of you are thinking, what each of you are feeling, and what are the next steps moving forward. So as I'm filming this, it is the end of the week. It has been really, really heavy emotionally. Many of you have been feeling the remnants of the full moon in Capricorn that we just had. Emotions have been running high. A lot of people crying, purging, feeling sick even, throat chakra activations and sickness, and so many things have been coming up this week. So I'm curious to know in the comments how you're feeling. I myself had some throat chakra issues. Every year to the calendar, I basically get strep throat, and I was so worried that I would have it, but so far I feel okay. It's just some pressure in the head. And if any of you have been feeling the barometric pressure or the solar flares or the energy that's been coming in, oh my goodness, it's like, wow, a lot of pressure. So let's see what's going on overall in your connection before we get into the conversation. But I will mention one other thing that you might want to be aware of, and that is there are some aspects right now with Chiron, that are really important to note. Now, Chiron retrograde is something that I've seen pop up a little bit, and maybe some wounds will be coming to the surface, and you might have some miscommunications. So just be aware of those things. Be careful that you don't say something out of self-sabotage or to, cause any difficulty, even though we don't really mean to do it. It's just sometimes things blurt out, silly things blurt out. So just be mindful of that. Now let's take a look at the overall themes and messages for this conversation. Focus. Need to focus on the present moment. Whatever the wounds are from the past, they are from the past. You are you, they're them. Neither of you are your exes. Hard lessons to learn right now, okay? Let's see what else we need to know. Thinker. Some of you may be in your head way too much and overthinking. And those are those wounds. Those are those wounds. Very natural. And let's see what else we need to know. Luck. Okay. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. So in other words, we've got to focus on the good things, right? Focus on what's happening in the present moment and all the good that can come from being in positive energy, right? We don't want to get in our own way by overthinking. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take two different decks, okay? And if you'd like, it's totally up to you. You can choose whichever deck resonates with you, and you can assign one to your person. But I was going to put this deck here, as I'm pointing with the other deck, on this side, and then use the other tarot deck to have a conversation. So on your side here, we have the Mermaid Tarot, and we're going to look at what you've been thinking, okay? What have you been thinking about? And we have here the King of Cups. Okay, so you might be thinking about a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or you're a water sign. But essentially, you may have had some emotions running high. And it's a reminder to keep your emotions in check. You're really wanting peace, okay? And I understand that the brain can get in the way of that peace. This could even be travel. You might be thinking of getting away. And the Nine of Wands, see, there's the wounds coming to the surface, okay? Maybe you're feeling like you're going to be left out in the cold again, or you're going to be hurt again, and you have no way of knowing, right, until you cross that bridge. Let's see what your person wants you to know. What are they thinking about? And there's the shadow side. Okay, so... oh, interesting. That is the moon. Okay. Now, the full moon may have really rocked your person, and they want you to know that they feel the emotions too. It's almost like they feel your emotions, their emotions. They're having things illuminated to them. And there's that feeling left out in the cold. They themselves feel like they're struggling a bit. They've got past traumas, triggers, and hurts. And the Ace of Wands does say, you know, purpose and passion. And there is transformation here. Look at this beautiful butterfly that symbolizes change, right? And so it's like a new dawn and a new day, right? As in, we have to recognize that the sun always rises. There's the moon, and then here's like the new day coming through. So basically, it's like your person wants you to know that they feel the emotions too. They feel the wounds too. But essentially, you know, they are seeing new things coming. They're optimistic. Let's take a look with the Oracle cards. Let's go back to your thoughts here with that King of Cups. And there's the Temperance card. It's telling you to have patience. You know, you are recognizing that you've got to trust the process. You want your person to know that you're motivated. You know, the Prince of Fire here, the Knight of Wands, says, I feel hot to trot, like I want to go. At the same time, there's this level of patience that you have to demonstrate. And, you know, you might be feeling like you're spying or observing a little bit, and you've got to be careful with that. You might even feel like they're spying or observing on you. And with that, we have here the magnet. You feel it. You feel the magnetic connection. And I think it's a little bit scary. You know, you feel so deeply. And let's take a look at clarifying the thoughts of your person. Now, the moon, the Five of Pentacles. Okay, what just came flying out here? The Fortress. I think what they want you to know is that although they may have some walls up, or they may have some, you know, difficulties from the past, there's a staying power here. You know, this is something that will endure, a connection that endures. And there are some roadblocks here. That Five of Pentacles underneath it, you know, is very much this attention to weaknesses and obstacles. You know, and it could be that your person is just feeling a little bit stuck. But that Ace of Wands, they want you to know that they're building. They're building something. They're working on it. They're working on themselves. They're working on getting over those obstacles towards that purpose and that passion. Let's go and see what you want to tell your person in your heart space. How do you feel right now in this connection? You feel like you've had a lot of swords in your back. A lot of old hurts, you know, have been in your way. And you're ready to end that cycle. You're getting a lot of signs and synchronicities. And here's the thing about the signs and synchronicities, as I always say, you've got to be careful that they're not pulling you backwards, okay? Because sometimes when you see those angel numbers and you attribute them to a person, it actually pulls you back into a waiting mode or a controlling the outcome. Because sometimes we say, oh my goodness, that means it's this or it's that. And what you have to recognize is you have to trust the process. Now, it's wonderful to see those signs. It's wonderful to be nudged forward, but allow yourself to move forward, okay? So you're feeling those signs. You're feeling this is a very spiritual connection. You know it's important to your growth. The thing is that you also feel restricted. You know, you feel held back, and maybe it's, you know, if you think about it, I just said, be careful that the signs and synchronicities don't hold you back. You know, you feel like you're ready to let go of those swords, you know, that Ten of Swords, that sort of dead, done, over with, like you're just tired. At the same time, every time you want to move on, you get something that maybe pulls you backwards. There's always something that comes and pulls you backwards. So let's take a look at what your person is feeling and what they want to tell you. They're worried too. They have anxiety also. They've got a lot going on, and they're holding themselves back in certain ways. And I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. Let me see if I can articulate this. You know, sometimes when someone holds themselves back because they know it's a short-term pain, Because I always say, do you want short-term pain, long-term gain, or short-term gain, long-term pain? It's almost like they're holding themselves back because they want to be able to give their all. And there is worry there about whether things are going to work out the way they want, or whether they'll be abundant or feel good enough. At the same time, they want to be able to give it all. See, there's the Queen of Cups. They want to give it all. The thing about the Queen of Cups is she can be overgiving, okay? Meaning, I always say, lean back, don't be overgiving, overdoing, problem solving. I really feel like it's your person who wants to be in this energy, who wants to be able to give. It's interesting. To some extent, they may give to others, like their family, their work, their friends, more. And you might think to yourself, well, why? Like, why do they do that? Why can't they give to me? It's different. And I don't know how to explain it other than, it's easier in a way when you have family obligations or work obligations or friend obligations. Love takes initiative and work, and sometimes it's easier to push love away, and I know it's not fair. I totally know that. Let's take a look back at your heart there, your feelings. What else do you want to say? You're saying that you're emotional and that you're feeling the release. Tears of joy, tears of sorrow. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I was just explaining to you this analogy with your person, this is exactly what I had in my mind, and I was going to say the hangman. So here's the thing about hangman energy. Yes, it can be in limbo, or it can be like a pause, but the hangman is actually about taking a break to gain some clarity, because ultimately we want to have inspiration, enlightenment. We want to have things appear and come to light and guide us. And so that's kind of what I'm feeling is happening here. It's like, even if things feel sort of stuck or at a standstill, it's because there is time needed in order to gain the clarity. Now, here's the difficulty in regards to relationships, is that depending on the circumstances, ultimately, you kind of can't wait on anybody either. You've got to put yourself first. You've got to be selfish. You've got to demonstrate that you are number one. The more that you sit and wait for someone to have clarity, the more you sit and wait. And it's a real rock and a hard place. No pun intended with the obstacle here, with the roadblock. But I do feel like that's the energy between the two of you, possibly in regards to feelings. It's not a lack of feelings. It's not like you don't love each other or care about each other. And there's the chemistry and the fireworks and the passion and the happiness. Totally get it. Totally get it. It doesn't mean that things can't move forward. It's just a matter of patience. There's that temperance, patience. Going through the motions day by day, trusting the process. See, there's new beginnings there. They want you to know that there is a new beginning. It's just that sometimes we feel a little helpless, we feel like, when is that abundance going to come in? And they're working on that. And they're trying to stay focused. There's the focus card here. They're trying to stay focused. And sometimes, see, there's 8. That could be an angel number you're seeing. Oh, 3 + 5 is 8. Oh, 44 is 8. There you go. They're trying to stay focused, and it doesn't mean that they don't love you. It's, again, that short-term pain, long-term gain. Okay, let's take a look at the next steps. So what do you want to communicate as your next steps? Well, you want victory. You want recognition. Okay, totally understand. And let's see what else. The 3 of Wands. Okay, so the 3 of Wands says you want to make a move of some kind, because this is saying sitting on the sidelines. We'll do this tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. It's never a good time to make a move. So your next steps are taking some steps. And with that, we have here the Hanged Man. So, again, we've got this energy here that says you feel like you're in this sort of limbo But you've got to get out of this hangman and find that clarity. You know, you've got to make that move. That Three of Wands says it's never the right time to make a move, but that making a move is going to bring your victory. You know, it's kind of interesting how it continued the story. Okay, let's see in your person's side here. What are the next steps? And there's the Knight of Wands. Passion. Motivation. Finding balance. Simplifying. So your person's next step is sort of simplifying their life. And there's the Page of Pentacles, offering. Isn't that lovely how that came full circle? The next steps are offering something. Wow. Okay, let's go back and clarify your next steps here. And it says spring into action. Isn't it funny how different decks, the energies are so telling of a story? The advice for you in the next steps are, don't try to control the outcome. Don't try to control the outcome. You want your person to know that there's unconditional love. And let me just tell you something about unconditional love. And I know this might be a little triggering, so forgive me. But unconditional love means that you will love that person. You will let go, even though you want to hold on so tightly. And I'm not saying that you have to let go of the connection, the relationship. Every connection is unique, or every situation is different. My point is, though, is that when you really love somebody, you trust the process. You live your best life. You do what you got to do. You let your person do whatever they need to do. So you want your person to know that you love them. That's all that matters. You love them. Okay? And let's clarify what your person's next steps are and what they want to communicate. And we have here forked road. So they do have a decision to make. So this is the thing. They've got to make a decision. And that decision actually is basically about making that offer. You know, they're thinking about it. And wow, the Ring's commitment. Lovers. Abundance. There's that number 8 that came back around. Wow. It feels like there's a lot going on, a lot of those wounds coming to the surface, but they're being processed. And it feels like what you're communicating to each other energetically is a deep love, a trusting of the process, a focusing on the abundance, the long-term gain, right? So very interesting. Let's take 2 cards, one for each of you. And let's see what you want to tell each other. This is the Power of Surrender deck. So let's see. On your side here, surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. So what you want your person to know is that you're open. You're open to really good things coming your way, and that you're not imagining things. You know, I think in this journey, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, am I imagining this? Like, do they really care about me? Is this really what I'm feeling? Is this really love, or what is this? Ultimately, these are lessons that are helping you grow and change. And the connection, the commitment is the bonus, you know what I mean? Or the byproduct of this journey. And on your person's side, it says, surrender your fear of intimacy. They're trying. They want you to know that they're trying to let go of that fear, and they want you to let go of that fear too. You are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Wow. This says be open. And obviously we're talking about opening the heart. So both of you are communicating to each other that you just want to open your hearts. I really hope this resonates with you. Please let me know in the comments if you like this new style of reading. As always, I appreciate your likes, your comments, and please don't forget to subscribe. It means the world to me. So thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing day.